Hey, how you doing, everybody? This is Bad Brad, and the news just came out. I saw they announced it about 2 hours ago that Sam Ash is closing all stores. So I saw the post about an hour after it hit, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go to Sam Ash and see what they have. All right, let me preface this by saying about a week ago, I made a trip to the local guitar center in Rivergate here in Madison, Tennessee, and the Sam Ash, which is right across the street from the guitar center. And the guitar center here in Rivergate it's like it's almost like a Radio Shack size store. It's a small store, but they have a decent amount of stuff, and every now and then you can find a deal on something. The Sam Ash store, on the other hand, has been there longer. It is a huge store that has everything from brass to drum sets to acoustics to electric guitars and sheet music and recording and PA. And I mean, they have everything. It is a mega store. And, I couldn't help but thinking the whole time I was in there, there are no deals. There were no deals at all. They would have four of the same guitar, all up on the wall, all listed at, full retail price. And that was all across the board. And I couldn't help but thinking, at least when I go to Guitar Center, they have a couple things. I feel like they're almost like teasers to get you in the front door. And once you get in there, it keeps you kind of coming back to see what the latest discount is, or what's going to be on sale, or, maybe you can find, every now and then you can find a used guitar at a really good price. And that's what keeps me coming back. But, I hadn't been shopping at Sam Ash in a while because and I used to buy a good amount of stuff there, but every time I would go in there lately, it seemed over the last year, 2 years, there never were any deals. And, even though sometimes I would buy things at full price, I would generally try to look for things that have, a discount, whether that be 10% or 20% or 25% or, a few $100 off or something. Those are the kind of things that entice me to buy. Now, I don't really need any guitars. I don't really need anything. But, every now and then I start, I see something I might like, or, I'm interested in that or whatever. And that's what would keep me coming in these stores and keep providing business. It's very easy for me to order things from Sweetwater. And by the way, I am a Sweetwater affiliate now. So if you want anything from Sweetwater, like one of these awesome Wolfgang guitars, or a nice Fender or Gibson or Epiphone or anything else, you can go down to my link in the description. That's my affiliate link, and you click on that, and anything you purchase helps my channel out greatly. So if you need some strings, they'll deliver them right to your door. And guess what? They've got all that awesome Sweetwater candy that they put in there. And Sweetwater's service is impeccable. But getting back to Sam Ash, I just stopped going in there because there were no deals to be had. There was never any discounts. And it's like, if I want to play full price for something, I'll probably just get it somewhere else where they take better care of the instruments. And, it's really sad because Sam Ash is one of those iconic stores. I remember as a kid going to the Sam Ash in New York, and there was a whole street there with Manny's and Sam Ash and a few different stores. And, those stores, you could just imagine the people that came in there and bought instruments, Jimi Hendrix and, all these legendary musicians that would shop there back in the day. And I remember being out on the road with Colt Ford, and we happened to be playing in New York, opening for Florida Georgia Line. And I remember having a day off, and I said, you know what, I'm going to walk. And I forget the name of the street, whether it's 48th Street or whatever, but I put it in my phone and said, I'm going to go see those legendary stores. Let me walk. I'm going to walk to the legendary area where all the guitar stores are. So I go there, and I get there, and every single one of them was boarded up. and the stores were no more. I'm like, this whole legendary area where the musicians would all gather and get their gear and hang out. I couldn't help but thinking, man, it's the end of an era. And obviously I had no idea that those stores had closed up there. But now you've got Sam Ash shutting all the stores all across the country, and they are advertising it as everything must go. So I quickly said, hey, I'm going to grab Mia. We're going to go down and we're going to see what they have. Hey, maybe they got some deals. Maybe there's something worth checking out. I'm not in the market for anything, but you never know if you see a really great deal. Sometimes you're like, hey, this is too good. And I could always flip some gear or sell it or, do different things. So we went down there. It's the Sam Ash in Madison, Tennessee, huge store. And they got a big sign out front that says everything must go. They got a big sign out front that says everything must go. And we go inside and I see a broken keyboard, on a table, as is $50. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's something. But, I started noticing there were no discount prices on anything. Nothing was individually marked down. And, I feel like that's kind of the way it's always been when I went in there. There was never any attention to detail. Hey, we've got too many of this guitar. Let's blow a few of these out. It's just like you walk in and there were no discounts. There were no deals. What they did have on the wall was guitars 5% off. Well, man, 5% off, that's a joke because, usually if you've got a rep at a company and you say, hey man, what's the best price you can do on this? Just like Sweetwater, if you get a rep that you work with, a lot of times they'll say, hey, I can do it for this, or I'll throw in this, or they'll work with you. And here it is, they're saying everything must go, and they're offering 5%. Now, I was told by the sales associate there that they were going to do it each week and keep lowering it. So what do you mean? I got to keep coming back next week? I come back for 10%? 10%'s not even enough of a discount for me to really seriously be interested in anything. And I'm sure there's going to be some people that have come along and snag a few things. But right now, the deals aren't there to be had. And if they're saying everything must go, they said they've got about 2 months. They're going to do this for 2 months. So they're going to keep inching down and inching down and inching down. So those of you out there are looking for a deal and looking to your local Sam Ash or ordering from Sam Ash, you might want to wait a little bit because right now there really aren't any deals to be had. And you can see in the footage that I'm showing here, 5% discount. I mean, that's almost an insult. That wasn't even worth driving down the street for. If I'd have known it was 5%, I wouldn't have gone down there. So, I feel like this is part of the reason why Sam Ash is going away, because there was never, at some point, I had a rep down there, Nick Kane, who was great and worked at Sam Ash. And he would always help me out, or, hey, this is a good deal, or I can do you a deal on this, or sometimes I'd work trades. And he left at some point, and after that, it seemed like the help that they were getting in there, it wasn't as good, wasn't as knowledgeable, and I don't know if they changed their commission structure or whatever, but man, there just never was any deals. I stopped shopping at Sam Ash probably about 2 years ago. So, we'll see where this goes, and maybe your local Sam Ash is doing better. But here in Tennessee, man, there's no attention to detail. I mean, look, they had about 4 or 5 of those Fender Tom DeLonge Strats or whatever it is with the full shred humbucker or whatever it is, and it's like they had so many of them and they didn't go, hey, you know what, let's knock a few bucks off one of these and just get them out of here. We got too many of these. There's no attention to inventory or anything. It's just everything's just up on the shelf. And, they didn't even have like the Michael Kelly guitars, the cheapo knockoff guitars. They didn't even have those marked down. I mean, I wouldn't buy one of those unless it was probably 50% knocked off. And even then I'd be like, I don't really want to rock a Michael Kelly guitar on stage. But, to each his own. I really don't know what else to say. It's sad that Sam Ash is going away, but it's not surprising to me in the current climate of economy that we're in and the way things are going. There's probably going to be fewer options when it comes to buying gear. And you know what? If you find a place that you like working with, whether it's a mom and pop shop or a large retailer like Sweetwater, it's good to make personal connections and have someone that you work with there, because then you get more attention to detail and they sometimes can work with you on price. All right. Now, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in on this video. Please hit like and subscribe, and check out my Sweetwater and Amazon affiliate links if you're looking for some good deals on strings, picks, guitars, pedals, whatever. They've got everything you need and they'll deliver it right to your door. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.